There comes a moment in every human life when everything feels heavy. The doubts, the failures, the disappointments, the quiet heartbreaks that no one else can see. You stand there at a crossroads, wondering if anything will ever change you, wondering if you will ever change. But listen closely, your life can shift in a single moment with a single decision. Sometimes it doesn't take a miracle. It just takes a choice. There were times when life itself felt like a test you didn't sign up to take. Times when you questioned whether you were strong enough, smart enough, worthy enough to rise above the weight pressing on your chest. But every moment you survived was proof that you are made of something extraordinary. You didn't come this far just to stop now. You may think your struggle is a sign that you are failing. It isn't. Your struggle is the evidence that you are still fighting. The fact that you're still here, breathing, trying, hoping, means you still have chapters inside you that have not been written yet. And here is the truth: one decision can redirect your entire story. The decision to believe in yourself. The decision to stand up after falling. The decision to walk away from something that hurts you. The decision to begin again even when you're scared. Change does not always arrive in a loud moment. Sometimes it comes quietly in a whisper that says, try again, more time, don't give up now. Not when you're this close, not when you've survived things that would have broken others, not when there is a future waiting for you, a future that will make sense of the pain you're feeling today. Your life is not defined by the mistakes you made. It is defined by the choices you make next. And right now, in this very moment, you can choose courage over fear, determination over doubt, and hope over hopelessness. Your life can change in one decision. Let that decision be this: I will not give up. I will move forward. I will rise, because everything you're dreaming of, everything you're praying for, everything you believe is too far away, is already on its way to meet you the moment you decide not to quit. Every transformation starts with a single courageous decision, and this truth is often forgotten in the noise of everyday life. People wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect amount of confidence before they act. Yet real change begins long before perfection ever arrives. It begins in an ordinary moment when something inside you whispers that you deserve more than the life you are settling for. It begins when the weight of staying the same becomes heavier than the fear of stepping into something new. That is the moment when a single decision can open a door you never thought you could walk through. A courageous decision is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it comes quietly as you sit alone with your thoughts, feeling tired, overwhelmed, or disappointed in how life has turned out. It comes in a moment of honesty when you finally stop pretending that you are fine and admit that something inside you wants to grow, to rise, and to become more. That kind of decision is powerful because it is born from truth. And whenever you choose truth, you choose freedom. You may believe that your past failures have disqualified you, or that your mistakes have already written the ending of your story. But one courageous decision can rewrite everything. History is full of people who were broken, lost, or doubted. Yet one choice pulled them out of the shadows and into a life they never imagined. They were not stronger than you. They were not luckier. They simply decided they were done letting fear make their decisions for them. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means feeling fear, acknowledging it, and choosing to move anyway. It is choosing to do what your future needs instead of what your comfort zone wants. It is deciding to take one step forward even when the path is unclear. It is standing up after falling and telling yourself that falling is not failure, it is feedback. A courageous decision transforms you because it changes the direction of your energy. It reminds you that you are not stuck, you are not powerless, and you are not trapped by circumstances. You are simply one choice away from a different version of yourself. Every great transformation begins with a decision to try again, a decision to learn, a decision to release what no longer serves you, a decision to trust your potential. And once you make that decision, life begins to respond. Opportunities of strength grows. Clarity sharpens. The road forward becomes visible in ways it never was before. It is not magic, it is alignment. You step into who you were meant to be. Sometimes the decision is as small as choosing to wake up earlier. Sometimes it is as big as walking away from something that is breaking you. Sometimes it is choosing to speak up. Sometimes it is choosing to stay silent. Sometimes it is choosing to forgive yourself for the person you were before you knew better. But every decision made with courage pushes you closer to the life you dream of. When you believe that you are worthy of change, the world begins to open. When you believe that you are capable of more, opportunities begin to find you. When you choose courage over fear, even once, you prove to yourself that you can do it again. And that is how transformation begins, not through perfection or luck, but through one brave decision that says, this is not where my story ends. Every meaningful change in life becomes possible the moment you stop doubting your own power. Doubt is a silent thief that steals opportunities before you even reach for them. It whispers that you are not ready, not capable, or not strong enough to take the next step. It convinces you to stay small, to stay hidden, and to settle for less than what you were created for. Yet the truth is that you carry far more strength, wisdom, and resilience than you have ever allowed yourself to believe. When you stop giving doubt the final say, you open space for possibility to enter your life. Many people live their entire lives waiting for external validation, hoping someone will come along and reassure them that they are good enough. But real confidence does not begin when the world approves of you. It begins when you decide to approve of yourself. You reclaim your power the moment you stop asking for permission to grow. When you recognize your own potential, you give yourself the freedom to take risks, to dream larger, and to choose a future that excites you instead of one that drains you. You may not fully see your strength right now because you have spent years focusing on your flaws and your failures, but strength is not defined by perfection. It is defined by your ability to rise again and again despite the challenges that tried to break you. At every time you survive something you thought would destroy you, you prove that you have a power inside you that is far greater than the doubts that live in your mind. You may not always feel powerful, but the fact that you are still here, still trying, and still hoping means you already carry a strength that cannot be measured. When you stop doubting your own power, your perspective shifts. Instead of seeing problems as dead ends, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow. Instead of believing that you are stuck, you realize you simply have not taken your next step yet. Doubt limits your vision, but belief expands it. Belief reminds you that you can try again, you can try and learn, you can adapt, and you can rise. It reminds you that you are allowed to take up space and allowed to chase dreams that once felt too big for you. There will always be moments when fear tries to creep back in. Fear will try to convince you that you are not ready or that you will embarrass yourself if you fail. But every person who has ever achieved something meaningful felt fear at some point. The difference is that they chose to act anyway. They chose to trust their inner voice rather than their inner critic. They chose to believe that stepping forward was better than standing still. You can make that choice too. You can choose to believe in the version of yourself you have not met yet, but know you can become. When you stop doubting your power, You begin to take responsibility for your life instead of letting circumstances control you. You realize that you do not need to wait for confidence to appear. Confidence grows as you move. Clarity comes as you act. Strength increases as you face challenges. Life begins to open for you the moment you open yourself to the possibility that you are capable of more than you think. Your doubt does not define you. Your potential does. Your fear does not limit you. Your courage does. And your past does not decide your future. Your belief in yourself does. When you finally stop doubting your own power, you make room for transformation, opportunity, and miracles to enter your life. This shift is the beginning of everything you have been hoping for. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not have to limit you. Every experience you have lived through has taught you something. Even the ones that broke you, confused you, or left you questioning your own worth. People often carry their past like a heavy suitcase, dragging it into every new opportunity and every new relationship, believing that what happened yesterday controls what can happen tomorrow. But the truth is that your past cannot stop you unless you give it permission. You are allowed to outgrow who you used to be. You are allowed to become someone you once thought was impossible. Many people get trapped in old memories and old mistakes because they think their history defines them forever. They replay moments that hurt them, moments where they failed, moments where someone else made them feel small, and they assume those moments are permanent walls around their future. But you are not meant to live inside a memory. You are meant to learn from it, rise from it, and walk forward with new clarity. The past is a teacher, not a prison. What matters now is not what happened then. What matters is who you choose to become today. You may feel haunted by things you cannot change, but strength grows when you focus on the things you can change. You cannot rewrite the moments that wounded you, but you can rewrite the meaning you give them. You cannot erase the mistakes you made, but you can allow those mistakes to sharpen your wisdom. You cannot undo the heartbreak you endured, but you can let that heartbreak strengthen your compassion. When you stop fighting your past and start understanding it, you free yourself to step into a future that is not controlled by old pain. Some people stay stuck because they believe their past is proof that they are not enough. They think the failures they faced are evidence that they will always fall short. They think the times they were abandoned or betrayed mean they will never be loved the way they deserve. But the past does not determine your value. The past only determines your starting point. Your strength, your decisions, and your growth determine everything else. You are not the same person you were when those moments happened. You have learned. You have endured. You have changed, and you deserve to move forward without carrying the weight of who you used to be. There will always be reminders of things you wish you had done differently. There will be moments that rise up unexpectedly and make you feel small again. But growth means acknowledging those moments without letting them control the direction of your life. Growth means saying, yes, that happened, but it is not happening anymore. Growth means choosing to believe in the possibility of something better, even if you have not seen it yet. When you stop letting your history dictate your future, you begin to make decisions based on hope rather than fear. Your past cannot define you because you are still becoming. Every day, you wake up with a chance to choose differently, think differently, act differently, and believe differently. You are not stuck in an old version of yourself unless you choose to remain there. You are allowed to recreate your life. You are allowed to dream again. You are allowed to step into a future that has nothing to do with the pain behind you. The past may have shaped you, but your next decision will shape everything that comes next. Obstacles are not stop signs. They are nudges toward your purpose. Every challenge you face carries a message within it, a lesson wrapped in discomfort, a direction hidden inside the struggle. Most people look at obstacles and assume they mean failure. They assume life is telling them to stop, to turn around, or to give up. But obstacles often appear not to block your path, but to guide you toward the path you were truly meant to take. They shape you, stretch you, and prepare you for a version of your future that you cannot yet see. When something becomes difficult, it does not mean you are on the wrong road. Difficulty often means you are growing. It means you are stepping into places you have never been before. Growth is uncomfortable because it asks you to leave behind habits, fears, and beliefs that no longer serve you. It demands that you step into courage even when your heart is trembling. It invites you to learn what you are capable of. The very things you think are holding you back may actually be the things pushing you forward. Every obstacle carries a purpose, even if that purpose does not reveal itself right away. Sometimes a delay protects you from a mistake you do not see yet. Sometimes a setback teaches you patience, humility, or strength. Sometimes a rejection redirects you towards something far better than what you originally wanted. Life is always speaking, always signaling, always guiding, but you must be willing to listen. What feels like a wall today may become the doorway to a better tomorrow. People often pray for strength, yet when strength-building challenges arrive, they feel abandoned or punished. But strength is not handed to you. It is built through experience. Confidence is not granted. It is earned through trial and effort. Wisdom is not learned from comfort. It is shaped through overcoming difficulty. Obstacles are invitations to evolve. They are reminders that you are capable of more than you believe. They force you to rise, to think deeper, to try harder, and to grow beyond your limits. There will be moments when the obstacles feel too heavy. Moments when you question whether the struggle has any meaning at all. Moments when you wonder why things are happening the way they are. But every time you face an obstacle, you are being prepared for something ahead. You are being refined. You are being strengthened. You are being shaped into someone who can handle the blessings and responsibilities waiting for you. You cannot carry the weight of your future dream with the strength of your past self. The obstacles build the strength you need for what is coming. Sometimes the purpose of an obstacle is simply to slow you down, not to punish you, but to protect you. Sometimes it is to reveal a character trait you need to improve. Sometimes it is to teach you resilience so that when the real test arrives, you do not break. Sometimes it is to show you that you have been settling for less than you deserve. And sometimes the purpose is to give you a story that will one day inspire others. Every challenge becomes part of your testimony. When you begin to see obstacles as guidance rather than punishment, everything changes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of collapsing under pressure, you begin rising with determination. Instead of seeing walls, you begin noticing the hidden doors. Obstacles are not barriers meant to stop your journey. They are signals to adjust, grow, and persevere. They remind you that your purpose is bigger than your fear. They push you to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And every time you push through, you prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you imagined. You move closer to the life meant for you, not in spite of the obstacles, but because of them. You are responsible for choosing the meaning of every experience. That life brings moments that lift you and moments that break you, but the power to interpret those moments belongs to you alone. Two people can go through the same situation, yet one will rise stronger while the other feels defeated. The difference is not in what happened, but in what meaning they chose to give it. Meaning is the lens through which you see your life, your challenges, your pain, and your possibilities. When you learn to choose empowering meaning, you take back control of your story. When you choose a meaning that strengthens you instead of weakening you, everything begins to shift. There will be days when life feels unfair and heavy. You may face rejection, heartbreak, failure, disappointment, or betrayal. These moments hurt deeply, and you are allowed to feel that hurt. Pain is part of the human experience. But even in pain, you hold a quiet power. You can choose whether that pain becomes the reason you grow or the reason you stop trying. You can choose whether it becomes a wound that limits you or a lesson that expands you. You can choose whether it becomes proof that you are not enough or proof that you are stronger than you realized. The experience is the same, but the meaning changes everything. Choosing the meaning of your experiences does not mean denying your feelings or pretending everything is perfect. It means deciding that your feelings will not control your future. It means choosing to rise rather than crumble. It means deciding that every struggle you face has something to teach you. You can interpret a challenge as a punishment, or you can see it as preparation. You can interpret a setback as a failure, or you can see it as a redirection. You can interpret a loss as the end, or you can see it as the clearing that makes space for something better to come. Many people give their experiences meanings that destroy their confidence. A single rejection becomes a sign that no one will ever believe in them. A single failure becomes proof that they will never succeed. A single heartbreak becomes a reason to close their heart forever. This is how people trap themselves inside their past, but you are not required to accept meanings that weaken you. You are allowed to question the stories you have been telling yourself. You are allowed to rewrite them. You are allowed to choose meanings that help you grow into the person you want to be. Your experiences do not define you. The meaning you attach to them does. When something painful happens, you can ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? When a door closes, you can ask, what is being protected or redirected? When someone walks away, you can ask what space is being made for someone who truly belongs. When life slows down, you can ask, what is the deeper lesson in this season? These questions do not erase the difficulty, but they transform it into wisdom. They empower you to move forward with clarity rather than bitterness. Choosing the meaning of your experiences is an act of self-leadership. It is a declaration that you will not let the world tell you who you are. It is the understanding that you have the authority to shape your identity, your beliefs, and your future. When you choose meanings that uplift you, you strengthen your resilience, you deepen your courage, you expand your hope. You begin to see that every experience, even the hardest ones, can become a stepping stone toward a stronger, wiser, and more purposeful version of yourself. Your life will always bring challenges, but you will always have the power to decide what those challenges mean. And when you choose meaning that empowers you, you choose a life that grows from strength rather than fear. This is how you rise. This is how you transform. This is how you step into your purpose. In the end, everything you dream of, everything you fight for, and everything you hope to become comes down to one truth. Your life can change the moment you decide it will. Not when circumstances become perfect, not when fear disappears, not when the path becomes clear, but in the instant you choose courage over doubt, growth over comfort, and hope over hopelessness. You have walked through pain, through confusion, through obstacles, and through moments that tried to break the very core of who you are. Yet here you are still rising, still learning, and still reaching for something better. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not control the horizon in front of you. Your challenges may have slowed you, but they did not stop your heartbeat or your purpose. Every obstacle you faced was shaping you into someone capable of carrying the future you once prayed for. Every experience you lived through was preparing you for the strength you now hold. You You learn to see meaning where others saw misery. You learn to see possibility where others saw endings. You learn that your power does not disappear just because doubt speaks loudly. Your power grows every time you choose not to give doubt the final word. You stand today not as a victim of your story, but as the author of the chapters still unwritten. And the pen has always been in your hands. The next chapter of your life will not be written by your fear, your failures, or the voices that told you to give up. It will be written by your decision to rise, by your decision to believe, by your decision to keep moving forward even when the road is hard and the night feels long. The life you want is not far away. It is waiting for that one choice, that one moment of faith, that one decision where you finally say, enough. This is my time to grow, my time to heal, my time to evolve, my time to claim the future that was always meant for me. Do not give up now, not when you have come so far, not when you are stronger than you have ever been, not when your next breakthrough could be just one brave decision away. Take that step, make that choice. Trust that you are ready because you are, and your whole life can change the moment you decide you will no longer let anything stop you from becoming who you were born to be.